Yo, what's good, man? Another reaction. Brave Wilderness. I ain't react to him in a minute, but I see what he talking about. The craziest thing I'll ever do. You already done did the craziest thing you ever do years ago. Plenty of times, multiple times. Like all them animals you done got bit by, like tripping. What you about to do now? This probably what this. I thought he quit. I could have swore he said like he quit. You about to get stung by something else, or like what you about to do?
Ridiculous, insane, and honestly, maybe.
Hold up. It's already in 10 seconds.
I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm not okay.
What happened?
Over the past years, I've done a lot of things that most people would look at as being ridiculous, insane, and honestly, maybe just downright stupid. And what's crazy...
What was you doing right there? Tripping.
Is that as Brave Wilderness heads into its 10th year,
Damn,
I think your minds are all going to be blown.
Well, he been on the tour for 10
When you
years.
see how far I'm truly willing to go. Now, before we introduce you, or I should say reveal to you, my current living nightmare, I want to talk about the most frequent questions that I get asked. I'm sure you can imagine what they are.
I hope it ain't crazy. I got a feeling like he about to say something like all the venom that's in his blood. Dead. I don't know. I got a feeling something like that. Like all them animals, like that can't be helped. Like gotta have like some type of long term effect. You don't know.
What's the most painful sting? What's the most painful bite? I mean, every day. I could be at the gas station. I could be at the grocery store.
But so you had to
people get 30 seconds of my time. That's the first thing that they go to. And I love answering that question. Don't get me wrong. But the way that I've looked at it over the past few years has been, what's the most painful experience? And there are 3 of them at this point. 3 of my most painful experiences are without question something that nobody should ever have to go through. And make no mistake, the pain from something like an execution wasp is really bad. Giant hornet, exceptionally bad. Tornado, still really bad, but I've gone through way worse since then.
For real?
And the most painful experience in the sting world that I've gone through at this point is the Yellow Jacket box.
The what?
This seemed like it was a good idea, and it was my idea.
Yellow Jacket with those bees or something like. I don't think I saw this one though. You got stung by 200 bees. I mean, of course, like it makes sense. You getting stung by 200 bees. I'm assuming these ain't no regular bees. Like he be doing crazy stuff. He's probably like some I don't know, some different type of bees. So it's like you getting stung by 200 of those. He said angry too. Of course, that's gonna be the worst.
Let's put those bugs in a box, and I didn't think that I was gonna get stung that many times. Honestly, I thought I might get stung once or twice. And what's funny is that my hand was in that box for a total of 3.
Wait, this how he got stung by them? I thought it was like an accident because he got the bee suit on. I'm thinking like he was doing something. They just ended up getting in his suit or something. Nah, you actually put your hand inside. Like you, okay. I don't know why I'm surprised. Like he crazy. I just ain't think he do it. Like I ain't never see this one. Dude put his hand inside the box with 200 bees. Yeah, of course, that's gonna be the worst one.
Seconds when I was like, whoa, that's far
tripping.
enough. I give up. This is really painful. Okay, my hand's gotta come out. Hand's gotta come out. You guys are gonna have to run because these things are gonna be swarming everywhere.
Let's put the door back in.
Okay, the door. Help.
Got it? Here.
Unfortunately, my hand got stuck in the box due to a small design flaw, and my hand ended up being in there for 10 seconds. So I took about 100 stings in this amount of time. And
Damn. 10 that's a long time for all them bees in there. Your hand done got stuck. You ain't test out the box before that? Man, before you put it, you should have just put your hand in there and take it. Alright, so this how I'm gonna do it. Nah, this your first time. You crazy. This your first time doing it. You like, come on, bro. You should have thought about that.
massive yield of venom. Because I wasn't just getting stung. Like, yellow jackets were landing on my hands and arm. They were latching on, inserting their stingers, and just pumping venom. So it's not like, boom, you
and they
got
got venom?
flew away. It was just pump after pump.
They got venom too?
Freaking bad. I mean, like, the worst. So as I ran away from the box, because the hornets were all around us, it was probably the most panicked I've ever been. Probably most panicked since I had the B-Beard situation that went wrong, because I was like, man, like, there's a lot of venom. If anaphylactic shock is going to take over, this is going to be that moment. And I know you'd love to see me get, injected with an epinephrine pen, but I was seriously worried at this point.
Nah, ain't nobody trying to see that, man. I know you be doing all this. I ain't trying to see all that, though. You going into shock. That's something serious.
Fortunately, about 15 minutes after the fact, when I was just in excruciating pain, I was like, all right, good. No allergic reaction, but holy bejesus, my arm is getting big. I mean, like, comically big. It looked like a hot dog that you put in the boiling water and then on the grill, and you're like, this thing's going to explode. And, like, my tendons and bones are going to spill out all over the place. And I was like, all right, well, cool. Like, an hour in, the pain's bad. But it's getting worse, and it got worse and worse and worse. And it is the worst, most painful experience I've ever been through. 36 hours of excruciating pain. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't sit still, I couldn't even shower. In fact, if water touched my skin, the nerves were so sensitive that any temperature water would send me to an immediate searing pain. So when I look back on that...
Yeah, I ain't no joke. That's on serious. I don't know what that is. He said any touch, like any temperature, ain't no hot water. So imagine, like, turn your water up to the hottest temperature. And let it sit under there for like 10 seconds. That's how his hand felt with any temperature. That's wild. I ain't gonna lie. Like, 36 hours?
Hey, Coyote, what's the most painful sting? The most painful sting pain experience was without question the Yellow Jacket box. And what's worse than the Yellow Jacket box? Just wait. You're gonna see. It's coming. Stay tuned.
What you mean? Like, you did it this video? You did
Before
something.
we get to my second most painful experience, first I just want to say thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. It's a new year, which means it's the perfect time for a mental reset. During the span of a year, I work a ton. And that's why therapy
Bro, skip this
and my
little...
mental health. Now, BetterHelp lets you most comfortable therapist in the other range of time that's at the click of use or visit. And it helps accidents.
Skip
Again,
that. My
that's
bad.
BetterHelp.com/Coyote. I love happy accidents, especially when they come in the form of plants, I guess. So my
Poison ivy wilding.
most painful experience, which is a newer one for me to talk about because it's not technically a bite and it's not technically a sting. It's actually a nettling. We were in Australia this past year and I discovered something called the Gimpy Gimpy. And lo and behold, the Gimpy Gimpy, which is the most painful venomous plant nettling in the world, was also in the Cape York Peninsula. So we traveled up there, and then I proceeded to find and place this leaf on my skin.
Why?
Now, I knew what I was getting myself into. I could read articles on how painful the venom from this plant was and how other people had been nettled by it before and had ended up in the hospital. And for all fairness, these are people that fell into one of these plants and had it on their face and their necks and their whole body. I was like,
Alright, so you think, oh, it's cause they fell into it, their whole body. You think I'll just put it on my arm, I'm gonna be straight. Like, bro, you really is crazy.
all right, cool, just a little bit on the arm should be fine. It was not fine.
If you have a love of languages, you may want to consider a career in the Navy.
As a cryptologic tech.
It was not fine at all. In fact, the nettles, once those trichome tips broke off, immediately began searing my skin from the venom that went beneath the surface. And I don't remember a whole lot after because the pain was so intense. I remember trying to get the nettles out with those wax strips, and it really didn't do much good.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I was up that entire night, like sweating, and my arm was swelling, and I was like, oh my gosh. Some people say that this pain lasts for months. Now, for me, I didn't take as many nettles as somebody that would fall into a plant. And the pain did last for a solid 24 hours, but what I didn't anticipate was the nerve damage. This arm was messed up for 6 months after the fact. I would just have these flare-ups of burning and my arm would turn red and it would be like, whoa, that came out of nowhere, and then it would itch, and then it would hurt, and then it it would itch. And I think eventually either my body absorbed the nettles and the venom that were still in there, or eventually my skin pushed them out. But I kid you not, for 6 straight months, I dealt with unbelievable discomfort that I call nerve damage in my left arm from the Gimpy Gimpy.
Yeah, man, listen. That should be the last thing you ever do. Plants in them, whatever. Stop all that getting stung, bro. Like, it's not even worth it. No, it's just stopping.
And when you think about a plant as being something that's that toxic, that's capable of putting a human through that much pain, and the number of people after the fact that came up to me and said, Coyote, like, dude, what's up with, like, you gonna start experimenting with plants? I'm like, well, we already kind of hit the peak of the mountain with the Gimpy Gimpy, but we are gonna go find the other ones that are out there and maybe create a plant nettle pain index. I mean, that is a possible thing, I guess. But when people say, Coyote, what is your second most painful experience? The Gimpy Gimpy takes the prize on that one. But I can promise you this much. The Gimpy Gimpy is going to be nothing as compared to what it is that I'm about to reveal. Cleveland!
You telling me this nigga's still going? He ain't learned this lesson with the Gimpy Gimpy or the bees. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it though.
January. It is cold. All right, we've made it to Scales and Tails. I'm going to head inside, and we're going to meet the mystery animal that lives here that is going to be our first candidate for the extreme.
Bro, what you gonna do? Like, you gonna let a snake latch onto you or something? Like, I don't, like, what else you gonna do?
Bites experiment.
You about to get a whole snake, let it bite him in.
Painful
That's why you got that snake
painful
jacket.
Plants. What's left? Painful bites. This next one was also my idea, and this was me facing fear because the giant desert centipede is truly something that has given me the EBGBs since I was a little kid. I remember the first time I ever saw a giant desert centipede in Arizona.
So that desert centipede, that was worse than the two things you just said.
And I knew immediately this was not something to tangle with. So when we conceptualized getting bitten by one of these,
that shit just made me, just looking at that.
Actually, I was given a number of warnings from people that live out in the Southwest that said, this is bad. You don't want to do this. Like, it makes grown men cry. And I'm like, oh, maybe she doesn't cry. Some people think I cried in that video. I didn't. My eyes were just watering because I was in like, so much pain.
He said my eyes. Nah, you was crying, bro. Just say it. You was crying, bro. Just say it. So my eyes was just watering.
Just cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. We gotta get the venom extracted. We gotta get the venom on my arm.
And he still kept recording. Look.
And you know something.
Nigga, I remember that. Nigga told him to cut the cameras. He just sitting there recording. Nigga had to tell me. He's like, no, seriously, cut the camera. I'm like, bro, why you still recording for? Cut the camera. He just told you. Like, damn.
That we also learned in the process of making that video, we thought, well, venom extractors are a neat thing. This could be an opportunity to show how a venom extractor works. And in all fairness, kind of got roasted by a number of different medical experts and the audience after releasing that episode because, as it turns out, venom extractors are a terrible idea. So I didn't know that at the time. We learned that through the audience. Thank you, guys. And I actually wonder if that didn't make the situation worse for me. But in the 24 hours after the giant desert centipede bite, I went through a level of pain.
You telling me you doing all you getting bit by all these animals and you don't got no good no good way of getting the venom or whatever? Talking about people was telling you the extractors wasn't good. You must ain't do no research or something. Like you wild. You should have did some research. The best way to get venom, something, bro. Like ain't no way you did some research. You just got some venom extractors. People telling you like that make it worse. Not for work. Should have been knew that.
They can only be explained as somebody get me a saw because it would be better to cut my arm off than it would be to go through whatever this is. And the venom of the centipedes was actually attacking my blood cells and exploding them from the inside out. So just try to imagine that. Like inside your arm, this reaction is happening and the arm is swelling and swelling and swelling. And similar to the angry yellow jacket pox on my hand, like is a human arm like capable of popping open? This is actually the only time that I received medical attention for a bite. Now, we didn't film any of that, but I did go to the doctor and I had to get an anti-swelling and an anti-pain thing that night because the pain was so excruciating. I was actually really nervous for where it was headed. Fortunately, I did recover from the situation. It turned into this huge welt. It was itchy for weeks, and I lived to be bitten another day. That episode certainly garnered a lot of attention and excitement from you guys. And I said after that centipede bite that I would never, Coyote Peterson would never.
But you changed your
get bitten
mind.
by a centipede again. Giant desert centipede or any type of centipede. In fact, I avoid centipedes every chance that I get.
Nope. Nah, you lying.
Until now. This is our idea.
Bro, what is that? What's
This game.
He made for man. He made for this. Like, he damn near immune. He gotta be immune at this point. He just do not care about him. He don't care how painful it is. He never gonna stop getting bit. He gonna keep finding animals. Like, this is crazy.
That is a really big centipede.
That shit. Yeah, I was about to say that's
And
a
you're probably
big
saying
ass
to yourself,
centipede.
there is no way this guy's gonna get bitten by that animal. Yeah, yes, I definitely
Talk
am.
about some yeah.
And here's what's different. You guys are used to seeing me take bites and stings in a produced, edited setting. We're trying something new. We're gonna do this bite as a live stream on YouTube. So for the first time ever, you guys will see Coyote Peterson raw, uncut, behind the scenes, exactly how these things go down. I have no idea what's going to happen, what sort of pain I'm going to be going through, but we are going to give you a front row seat for this experience. So why in the world would I be doing something like this? Is it for the views? Is it for money? Is it for fame and notoriety? None of that. This is for conservation. Over the past 10 years, we have worked to build Brave Wilderness up to be a microphone for the world of animals. And to us, conservation is first and foremost extremely important. A couple years ago, we launched an initiative called Save the Horns. I'm excited.
Bro, you telling me? Come on, bro. You telling me the only reason you're doing this to show people like what is? Come on, you can't deny the fact that you want the money and the views from it. I ain't saying like that's the only reason, but you can't just like deny that too. That come with it. You feel me?
Announce that we just had 22 critically endangered black rhinos delivered to 2 reserves that we are supporting in South Africa. It's a huge win, right? But it doesn't stop with just the delivery of the rhinos. We need continued support. So these live streams are going to act as fundraisers to not only support Save the Horns, but other conservation initiatives down the road. And other conservation initiatives means there's going to be more than one extreme experiment live stream. So get ready. I promise the entertainment coming in 2024 is going to be unlike anything we have ever done on Brave Wilderness. But it starts in April. That's going to be the first one. So stay tuned to our social media feeds.
Okay, April.
We'll give you all the details that you need to know. And you're going to get to see Coyote Peterson go arm to mandibles with the largest centipede species on the face of the planet. It's going to be extreme, it's going to be painful, it's going to be educational, and it's going to do great things for the world of conservation.
It's gonna do great numbers, great views, great. Don't forget that part. Don't forget that
And I
part.
promise that 2024 is going to be one of the wildest years in Brave Wilderness history.
Man, I'm here for it, man. We say he started April this year, so it's like, well, now he's switching over to live stream, getting bit. He ain't learned his lesson. He's still doing it. I'm gonna watch him. Yeah, that's it for the vid, though.